I have been in a reading slump for about the last 3 weeks. And let me tell you, it was hard. So, in today's video, instead of me telling you how to get out of your reading slump, I'm just going to tell you what I did. My name is Raquel. This is where we come to celebrate and explore Black books. So, a couple weeks ago, I noticed that it was getting a little bit more difficult to focus on the books that I was reading. And in the back of my head, I knew that a reading slump was coming on. But I figured it wasn't bad enough for me to stop reading. And sometimes I get that feeling and nothing ever becomes of it. So I kind of took that in the back of my head and kept going on. But as time went on, it became more difficult to pay attention. I'm reading the same lines over and over again. I cannot tell you how many books I DNF. In addition to books that I knew that I really, really wanted to read, like A Pair of Aces. I have been waiting for that book for a couple of months. It showed up in my Libby library, and I literally was not interested in it, which I was kind of like, okay. I mean, that's not unusual. Sometimes I want to read a book, and then, later I'm just not interested. Cool. So I go on and I feel like, well, maybe I should just try and find, um, maybe I should just try and find, something different, not the usual unhinged, second chance love, forbidden love, the usual. As I'm going through, I am literally finding nothing interesting. So I thought to myself, okay, I'll reread or re listen to a book that I know I enjoy. So, one of the books that I know for a fact that I enjoy is Shooting Blindly in the Dark by Nicole Jackson. One of the books that I enjoy, and I have read and listened to this book, I cannot tell you how many times. Probably more than five, a ridiculous amount of times. So I go ahead and I put on Shooting Blindly in the Dark, and I hear it, but I'm really not paying attention. No big deal because it's a book that I've read so many times. I don't necessarily need to pay attention. If I know where they are, then I know what's going to happen. I could not focus. I'm like, wait a minute, this is too much. Okay. So the next thing I was like, maybe I should change genres. So I went and I wound up having Our Sister's Keeper in my Libby library. I was like, oh yeah, because I really, really wanted to read that. I am looking to read more Black Gothic horror, right? So I thought, okay, so let me listen to Our Sister's Keeper. Our Sister's Keeper sounded like womp, 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 womp. I could not keep up. I couldn't figure out who was talking. It was ridiculous. And I know that the one thing that I can do that will always cure a reading slump for me is to take a break. But no, I don't want to take a break. I've got all these good books in my library, books that I've already, well, I guess you could say I have a TBR. It's not a TBR that I follow, but it's a TBR nonetheless. So when I look for a book for a certain amount of time and I get tired of looking, I know that I could go to my fake TBR and find something interesting. There's nothing interesting there. I said, okay, I give up. I give up. So I just put the books down for like 2 days, didn't read any books. Some of the things that I really enjoy doing other than reading books is coloring. I like art. I like to paint. I like to draw. So I did a little drawing and I started kind of coloring it in, but I haven't finished. So I did do a little drawing. This is what I came up with so far. I haven't colored it yet. And then I also started on this one, which I am not even halfway through with this one. I haven't even finished putting all the lines in. So I gave myself some space, just some space to do other things. I went for a walk and I also watched a movie. Now, this was a book adaptation, which is called The Hail Mary Project, and it is on Prime. And initially, I didn't think I was going to like it. I do not like alien movies. I don't like to look at anything that looks inhuman and, just how aliens typically look. But it turned out that this movie was so good and it was funny. So if you haven't watched The Hail Mary Project, that is a really, really good movie. And it's a book adaptation if you're interested. But yeah, I had to do that. And after I did that, the first book I picked up after was 54 Miles by Leonard Pitts Jr. Now, I bought this book a little while ago, and I had not read it. And I have been wanting to read this book even before I bought it. I have been wanting to read this book. So this was the perfect chance for me to read that book. It was so good. I had absolutely no problem getting into the book, getting into the characters. 54 Miles is about a interracial couple. They have a child. This child is biracial. The family of the white man is not happy, and neither is the family of the black woman. And so they wind up moving to New York with their family, their little family, the three of them. Um, the son grows up, he goes to college, and now we're in the 1960s during the civil rights movement. Now, he decides that he's going to sneak away from college instead of doing his second year, and he's going to go down to Alabama and he is going to join SNCC. Um, so that he can help people register to vote. Now, he has always felt a kind of way because of the attention that his parents have gotten over the years as he was growing up. The mother has had some really traumatic experiences that keeps her away from Alabama. But once her son joins in to help black people get registered to vote, she has to come back to Alabama and she has to face her old life. And believe me, when you find out about her old life, it is it's a lot. It is a lot, but this lady is super strong and resilient and all of the things, she has support from her brother, and her brother is also, they both have this past that they have to reconcile with. Not only that, the brother is very good friends with her husband's father because of something that he did for him back in the day. This was a really good book. I was so happy that I was able to read this book with no problem. Reading slump gone. So not only did I read 54 Miles, I also read These Heathens. Now, These Heathens was a book that I started last year and I could not get into it. Don't know why. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood for it at the time. But I picked it up and I was like, okay. I went in blind because last year I had already read the synopsis. So I knew it was about a girl who was pregnant, a 17, 16-year-old girl who is pregnant, who does not want to have a child. She goes to her high school teacher and tells her teacher that she doesn't want to have a child. She needs help. The teacher decides to help her, but they decide that they're going to leave where they live in Georgia, somewhere called Milling, Georgia, and go over to Atlanta. So I didn't want to get on here and say, hey, this is how you get out of a reading slump. How you get out of a reading slump is going to be different for everybody. I told you what I did, which is some of the things that you do. Ultimately, what happened was for me, in order to get out of a reading slump, I generally need to slow down because I am doing too much. I am reading too many books back to back. I am not taking a break in between books. Um, I stay in one genre for too long. I have been reading urban fiction and urban romance, I don't know, probably for about 6 months. I don't think that I have I probably stepped outside for like a book or two, but for the most part, I have been reading urban fiction and urban romance. And I need to switch it up because they were all starting to sound the same. I was trying to find different tropes, and it's just not going to work for me. Ultimately, what I have to do is take a step back, let it breathe. 2 or 3 days without reading is not going to kill me, and it won't kill you either. But whatever it is you need to do, I think everybody who is a reader is going to experience a reading slump at one time or another. If you pay attention, you'll be able to figure out what gets you out. So I don't know that I could just take a break and that be it. I think that I probably have to go through all these different steps. I don't know because I've never just stopped reading. I don't want to stop reading. Even when I can't read, I don't want to stop. So I won't. I'll try all of the things until it comes down to actually stepping away from a book. And then that is when it goes away. So I don't know. Maybe next time I'll just try and step back and see if that works without all of the other things attached. Let me know, how long was your last reading slump? Mine was roughly around 3 weeks, more or less. And like in my head, it didn't even have to be that bad because I knew when it was coming. I just chose to ignore it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until next time, see you soon.